Welcome to Connor's Place. Junior, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. And I'm feeling great because we finally decided to move to the couch.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, we're in a new scenery right now. But hey, it's not about us, it's about y'all. Let's try to make the public some money. What do you think about that?
That'd be great for them, great for me.
All right, let's get into Connor's quick picks right now for week 7 in the NFL. Junior, we got the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons are laying 3 points.
I got to take Atlanta. I feel like they're the better team overall. They have, as much as it pains me to say, I feel like Atlanta's going to win this game, and I think they're going to cover.
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense that the Seahawks defense has been really shaky. Geno Smith has been playing well. The offense has been putting up points, but you got Atlanta at home. Home crowd's going to be there. We know they pump in noise. Not a shot at you. All right, let's move to the second game. We got the Tennessee Titans traveling to the Buffalo Bills, who recently acquired Amari Cooper, and the Bills are laying 8.5 points.
I feel like 8 points is a lot in the NFL. So I think Buffalo's going to win. So if you want to put money on them outright, I don't know why you would. But if you want to do that, go ahead. But I think Tennessee's going to cover. I definitely think Tennessee's going to cover 8 points.
Okay, that's bold and ballsy. I like it. It's a lot of points in the NFL, but I'm going to ride with the Buffalo Bills. No one circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills, and I'm going to lay the 8.5 points because I do not trust the quarterback for Tennessee, and I don't know why Denard Hopkins is still as a receiver there. The Kansas City Chiefs should reach out to him.
I agree.
All right, let's move on to the next game. We got the Bengals traveling to the Browns, and the line is the Bengals are the favorite at -5.5.
To me, it comes down to who's playing quarterback for Cleveland. You still have Deshaun Watson at quarterback, who has been subpar, who is stealing from the Cleveland Browns every day. It's robbery. So yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to win. I think it's going to be decisive. Cincinnati win. I think it's going to be a little bit more than 5 points. So.
Yeah, so my rule of thumb is I like home dogs. However, in this case, I think if you compare both teams, the coaches are a wash. The quarterback's better for Cincinnati. The pieces around the playmakers are better in Cincinnati. The defense is actually starting to show up, is better in Cincinnati. And until Deshaun Watson's benched and Jameis Winston is starting,
Go J-Boo.
I'm taking Cincinnati. So Cincinnati is a favorite. All right, moving on to the Texans and the Packers. We got two young, pretty much stud quarterbacks. Who you got? Because Green Bay is favored at home by 3 points.
I got the Texans. I think this is going to be a very solidifying game for the Houston Texans in terms of their place in the AFC hierarchy. So Green Bay, very good team. They were a little shaky whenever Jordan Love got injured, but they got back on the right track. I just don't think that they're going to be able to match what Houston's going to bring to them today. So I got the Texans.
Yeah, I think the Texans are a tough team. However, the Packers already went Cardinal hunting last week and destroyed the Cardinals. Now they're going Texan hunting. And so I'm going to take the Packers, laying the 3 points at home, Lambeau Field. I just like what Jordan Love has brought, even though I like C.J. Stroud. And the receiving core for Green Bay is starting to click. So Give me the Packers. You're taking the Texans. But let's move on to another 1 o'clock game. It's the Dolphins traveling to Indy, and Indy is a 3-point favorite.
I got to stay with Indy. This could easily be a 7-8 point game if it swings the right way. Tua is still out. I don't necessarily agree with him coming back, but he's coming back next week, not this week. He obviously gives them a better chance to win. Anybody else other than Tua who lines up behind center for Miami really isn't going to be able to do what he does with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle and all the receivers that they have. So, I don't know. I feel this is going to be – I don't care who's playing for Indy. They're going to cover.
Okay. I like it. So – I think on a previous episode when we first started this, we called Joe Flacco Sleepy Joe. But I'm telling you what, ever since he came back,
He woke up
because he's been throwing 300-yard games and all this other stuff. However, I just think Miami has so much more talent. Give me the Dolphins on the road. I got it, but it's in a dome and not in negative 30 temperatures like they
Yeah.
did last year against Kansas City.
Helmet's blown up.
Dome, good weather. Give me the Dolphins. I think Mike McDaniel gets the Fins back on track before Tua comes back for week 8. All right, let's move on to our next 1 o'clock game, Jay. We got the mighty Detroit Lions traveling to Minnesota, dome to dome, and Minnesota is favored by 1.5.
With the line only being 1.5 for Minnesota at home, I feel like that says a lot about this undefeated team and maybe the fraudulent nature of this undefeated team. Maybe they don't belong undefeated. And hot take, kind of spoiling my pick here, I don't think there's going to be any undefeated teams after this week. So I have the Lions going into Minnesota and getting a gritty win and kind of showing like, hey, we're the kings of the NFC North. What do you got?
So I'm going the other way.
Of course you are.
And here's my thought process. Detroit last week goes into Dallas, Jerry's World. He was a gift for Jerry on his 82nd birthday. And he dismantles the Cowboys. The Lions do. The Vikings are coming off of a bye. I like Minnesota. Coming off a bye, 2 weeks to prepare. And the Lions are coming off of a huge win, a lot of emotion. I think they could potentially come back. I know it's a divisional game. I like Minnesota at home. I'm taking Minneapolis, and I'm taking Sam Darnold. Right? He was dead for loss, and that's why I'm saying never play in New York. And I'm talking about the Giants because they don't do anything for quarterbacks. Give me the Vikings. I'm laying the points. Let's move on to our last 1 o'clock game. And it is Saquon Barkley's return to the Giants, and the Eagles are favored by 3 points.
So I have Philly winning this game. And I think that they cover. It's only 3 points. I think it's going to be a lot worse than 3 points. But yeah, I don't think there's a lot to talk about. The one storyline is Saquon, and we know what he's going to do. So not much to talk about. I have Philly.
Well, I'm taking a home dog. Give me the New York Football Giants.
He has to take one. Of course.
Okay. Give me the home dog because I think that Daniel Jones is going to do just enough. The Eagles are in disarray. And I was listening to something on Sports Talk this past week, and they were talking about Nick Sirianni. And there's going to get a haircut, and there's cutting your hair.
Yeah.
He cut his hair. What else is going on in that organization? Give me the Giants. Down go the Eagles. I hate them anyways. Let's move on to the afternoon games, Jay. First game we're going to jump into is the Las Vegas Raiders are traveling to L.A., and the Rams are favored by 7 points.
So I think the Rams are going to win this game. I don't think they're going to cover 7. 7, 8, 9 points. That's a lot in the NFL. If this was a college spread, I'd be like, all right, that makes sense. But, these teams, as much as there may be a difference in talent, I don't think it's that large. So, yeah, I got to go with the Las Vegas Raiders covering.
So I think the Rams are starting to get healthy again.
Yeah.
Give me the Rams. Lay the 7.
Gosh, a lot of points.
Because I think the Raiders are in disarray. You want to talk about toxicity and all this other stuff. Devontae Adams got traded this past week, excuse me. But he's been wanting out for a couple weeks. Antonio Pierce might be over his skis, if you say. Give me the Rams. I trust McVay. I trust the quarterback. Because the quarterback for the Raiders is what? Aaron O'Connell?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me Matthew Stafford. Let's move on to the next afternoon game. The Carolina Kitty Cats are traveling to the Commanders.
I don't care
And
what
the
the line is.
Commanders-
I don't care what the line is. Give me the Commanders. I don't care.
It's 9.5 points.
I don't care. Give me the Commanders. House on
All
the
right,
Commanders.
I'm going the other way. Give me Carolina. Call it some NFC South love. Our division is actually tough, even though people say it's not. Give me
Yeah.
the Panthers to cover, not losing, by 10 or more. Give me the Panthers. All right, our next afternoon game is a rematch of the Super Bowl. We got the Chiefs headed out to Santa Clara. We're playing the 49ers, and the 49ers are favored by 2.
You know what? Screw it. I got the Niners. I think they get their get back. They dig their heels in the ground and say, you know, you're coming to our house with our referees, you know, hopefully. Gosh, if I see another phantom holding call, I'm going to lose my mind. But yeah, I think San Francisco does enough to get it done and does enough to get it done by more than 2 points.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the 49ers only because it's in San Francisco. Patrick Mahomes is still the pinnacle of quarterbacking in the league. I got it. But he's been middle of the road, and it's really been coming down to him having the ball at the end and then pulling it out. They've won, I don't know, four games maybe on last second possessions or at the very end of, or the defense making a play. This is shades of the Minnesota Vikings a couple of years ago, where they won like 11 or so some odd games that are one score, right? And all the pundits were like, this can't last forever. I think this is actually a game that the 49ers match up pretty well. And they actually win this game, cover, but it doesn't change that the Kansas City Chiefs are still the pinnacle in the AFC. All right, let's move into our late game on Sunday night. We have the low-flying Jets traveling to Pittsburgh, where there's some quarterback drama, if you will, and the New York Jets are favored by 2.5.
So I think this is a tale of two stories. I think we have one team who has all the pieces on paper put together, and another team who had all the pieces put together and is now, for some reason, turning it into paper mache and throwing it out the window. So I think the Jets just have too much going for them right now. Yes, they're 2-4, but they could have easily been 3-3 or 4-2. Now they have Davante Adams, and he's ready to go. They said he's going to get a full workload tonight. So, yeah, I have to go with the New York Jets.
So I agree with you, but I agree with you for different reasons. So I think the Jets get a infused injection of energy, positivity, and optimism because of Davante Adams coming into the building. Familiarity with Aaron Rodgers and how he likes to run the ball, throw, etc. I think he fits in very easily week 1. I think their offense may be still a little vanilla. However, Davante Adams is still going to bring it up. And I think it actually puts Garrett Wilson in a better position.
Yeah.
Where he's working as the Z versus the X. He's working inside. Bigger mismatches. Okay?
Yep.
So I think it actually helps Garrett Wilson out a lot. However, on the flip side, I potentially think that this move of putting Russell Wilson in over Justin Fields potentially could destroy the locker room. They were winning with Justin Fields.
They were fighting for Justin Fields.
And the last time we saw Russell Wilson, he looked like the Russell Wilson that played at North Carolina State.
Yeah.
Okay? He's a good quarterback. He ain't a great quarterback. But if we're talking about that, give me a quarterback that has some athletic ability, can still throw the ball, and the team was starting to click. Give me the Jets as well, only for this game, because I think Aaron Rodgers actually is more of a toxic leader than a awesome leader. All right, let's get back into our Monday night games, Jay. We got 2 of them this week.
Yep.
All right, we're going to first start off with the Chargers traveling to Arizona. Arizona coming off a horrible loss up in Green Bay, but the Chargers are favored by 2 points in Glendale. Who you got?
I think it's the any given Sunday rule kind of going to play a factor here. I also think Arizona, and in specific, Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison, they're due for that kind of week 2 breakout game again. They're due for that that explosive game that we've kind of expected from Kyler Murray, but he hasn't delivered as much as we had probably thought he would. So for that, 2 points is not enough for me to justify going with the Chargers. It shows that Vegas doesn't have a lot of faith, so I don't have a lot of faith. I'm going with Arizona to cover.
You're going with Kyler Murray, Arizona to cover. We made these picks a while ago, and I think did I take the Chargers?
No, I don't think you did.
I took the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth with this one because, man, I like Justin Herbert. I like what Jim Harbaugh is doing in LA. But you're right. I think I agree with you in your Marvin Harrison take. If Kyler Murray can maybe slow down a little bit and not jump off of a second read, Marvin Harrison has been open a bunch of times. So give me the Cardinals. Give me them to win, to cover the -2, right? Or +2, excuse me. Because again, this whole pick segment, I've been saying, home dogs, man. There's a little bit something when you're a home dog because everyone's saying that you can't win in your own place. Give me the Cardinals to win, not even to barely lose. They're going to win. You agree?
Yep.
I agree. Now, let's get into the game that me and Junior really care about.
Absolutely.
Baltimore Ravens traveling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You know we the underdogs.
Yeah, I mean, Lamar's 22-1 versus NFC teams.
The line is 3.5.
Too much, in my opinion.
Who you got?
You know,
and can you take off the bias hat to make an objective pick?
Absolutely. So I'm going to go with the offense that just put 50 points up last week. I'm going to go with the defense that gave up 27 and a quarter and didn't give up another point the rest of the game. I'm going to go with, the special teams that was flying up and down the field, right? I'm going to go with that team. I'm not going to go with the team that has to skate by a 1-3 Bengal squad, right, in overtime, right? Because Baltimore's 4-2. They had 2 ugly losses. One of they should be 5-1. They should be 5-1 because that game against Kansas City, they should have pulled it out. But they could easily be 3-3 or 2-4. So the Buccaneers, on the other hand, they could easily be 6-0, right? If the Bucs would have not tried to look past the Broncos, let's say we win that game. Let's say we didn't run out of gas in Atlanta. Let's say that doesn't happen with Bucky, right? We're 6-0 at that point, right? And if you have a 4-2 Baltimore squad going into a 6-0 Buccaneers squad going to Raymond James in Tampa after Hurricane Milton destroyed Tampa Bay, do you think we're 3.5 point dogs? I don't. That's what I look at. So if 2 things go our way, we're no longer underdogs. That's why I'm going with the Bucs. Not because I'm a Bucs fan, not because obviously I've watched the most film on them, but at the end of the day, I believe Baker's going to get us right where we have to go. And our team is playing phenomenal right now. So with that being said, I got the Bucs to win.
Okay. I'm not going to allow you to sit there and say, if this happened, if Isaiah Likely's foot was an inch shorter, they beat the Chiefs in week 1.
I hate that dude. Because if you remember, a couple years ago, he's the one that single-handedly beat us in Raymond James on a Thursday night. So
I don't want to play that game. Lamar Jackson is the most dynamic quarterback in the league. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
All right. That's what scares me a little bit. The Ravens also run the most 2 tight end set offenses out there. That scares me a little bit with our linebackers. But I'll take our secondary versus their secondary. Because the Ravens on the back end are one of the worst. So I like Baker and our offensive weapons to kind of attack that. Give me the Bucs to cover the 3.5 And I as a Bucks fan am putting money on the Bucks to win the game. Okay, I wouldn't tell you guys to do that, but I'm going to do that because that's what I believe in my team, and I agree with you and Baker, and that's my dog right there.
What
He might be a Ravens dog, but he's a Buck.
Yeah, we might have to put him out.
All right, Jay, you got anything else?
But
before you get to that,
okay. Yeah.
All right, those were Connor's quick picks for week 7. I hope we win you some money, because if we're winning you some money, we're doing something right. What do you got?
All I got to say is go check out the last video that we did these picks on. We didn't do a lot of picks. We stayed NFC South, but look at who I picked for the Saints-Bucks game. Look at the point difference between the two teams. That's all I got to say. And if you watch that one, and then you watch these, maybe you go undefeated this week, because that's what I'm going to do. So, with that being said, love all y'all. Same thing with Senior. And we'll catch you next week.
See y'all next week. Football's amazing. Go Bucks.
Peace.